In the desolate expanse of the Mojave Desert, where the scorching sun baked the earth and the wind whispered secrets of ancient sorrows, there lay a tale woven into the very fabric of the shifting sands, a tale of darkness that lurked beneath the surface of the arid wasteland. In the heart of this unforgiving landscape stood an abandoned town known as Dust Haven, its dilapidated buildings half buried beneath dunes of golden sand. Once a bustling hub of life, it now stood as a monument to forgotten dreams and lost souls. Among the locals there whispered rumors of a curse that had befallen Dust Haven, a curse born from the depths of despair and fueled by the anguish of those who had perished in the unforgiving desert. Legend had it that on the darkest nights, when the moon hung low in the sky and the stars blinked with a sinister gleam, the sands themselves would come alive with malevolent energy. Shadows danced in the moonlight, twisting and contorting into grotesque shapes, while whispers of long-dead souls echoed on the desert breeze. Few dared to venture into the depths of Dust Haven after sundown, for they knew that the desert held secrets best left undisturbed. But there were always those who sought to unravel the mysteries of the night, driven by a morbid curiosity that bordered on madness. One such adventurer was a young photographer named Sarah, who had heard tales of the cursed town and felt drawn to capture its eerie beauty through her lens. Ignoring the warnings of the locals, she set out into the desert with nothing but her camera and a sense of reckless determination. As Sarah wandered through the deserted streets of Dust Haven, her footsteps stirring up clouds of dust that hung heavy in the still air, she felt a chill run down her spine. The silence was deafening, broken only by the occasional creak of a decaying building or the mournful howl of the wind. But as the moon rose higher in the sky, casting long shadows across the desert sands, Sarah began to sense a presence watching her from the darkness. She glanced nervously over her shoulder, but there was nothing there, just the endless expanse of the desert stretching out before her. With a shiver of unease, Sarah quickened her pace, her heart pounding in her chest. But no matter how fast she ran, she could not shake the feeling that she was being followed. And then, just as she reached the edge of town, she heard it, a low, guttural growl that seemed to emanate from the very depths of the earth. Frozen in terror, Sarah turned to face the source of the sound, her breath catching in her throat. Before her stood a creature straight out of nightmare, a towering figure draped in tattered robes, its eyes glowing with a malevolent light. In its hand, it clutched a staff adorned with strange symbols that seemed to pulse with dark energy. With a shriek of terror, Sarah turned and fled into the desert, her footsteps echoing on the wind. But no matter how far she ran, she could not escape the grasp of the creature that pursued her. And so, she joined the countless others who had fallen victim to the curse of Dust Haven, their fate sealed within the shifting sands of sorrow. In the heart of the Sahara Desert, where the sun blazed mercilessly and the sands whispered tales of forgotten kingdoms, there existed a legend shrouded in mystery, the legend of the Oasis of Echoes. It was said that deep within the vast expanse of dunes, hidden from the prying eyes of travelers and nomads, lay an oasis unlike any other. Its waters were said to possess the power to grant eternal life, but at a terrible cost, a cost that few dared to pay. Among the desert tribes, there circulated stories of those who had stumbled upon the oasis, lured by the promise of immortality, only to vanish without a trace, their voices forever lost in the sands. One such tale spoke of a young nomad named Malik, whose thirst for adventure led him deep into the heart of the desert in search of the fabled oasis. Armed with nothing but his wits and a stubborn determination, he embarked on a journey that would change the course of his fate. For days, Malik wandered through the shifting sands, his water supply dwindling with each passing hour. But just as he was on the brink of despair, he stumbled upon a sight that took his breath away. A shimmering pool of water nestled amidst a grove of palm trees, its surface reflecting the blazing sun like a mirror. With a cry of joy, Malik raced toward the oasis, his parched lips cracking into a smile. But as he approached the water's edge, a sense of unease washed over him, as if unseen eyes were watching his every move. Ignoring the warning signs, Malik knelt beside the pool and dipped his hands into the cool water, bringing it to his lips with a sigh of relief. But as he drank, he felt a strange sensation wash over him, a tingling sensation that seemed to seep into his very bones. And then, just as quickly as it had come, the sensation passed, leaving Malik feeling weak and disoriented. He staggered to his feet, his head spinning, only to find himself surrounded by a thick mist that seemed to materialize out of thin air. Panicked, Malik stumbled backwards, his heart pounding in his chest. But no matter which way he turned, he could not find his way out of the swirling fog. And then, from the depths of the mist, came a sound that chilled him to the core, the sound of echoing laughter, cold and cruel. With a sinking feeling in the pit of his stomach, Malik realized that he had fallen victim to the curse of the Oasis of Echoes, a curse that condemned him to wander the desert for all eternity, his voice forever lost in the endless expanse of sand. And so he joined the countless others who had dared to seek out the fabled oasis, their fate sealed within its shimmering waters, their voices swallowed by the desert winds. Panicked, Malik stumbled backwards, his heart pounding in his chest. But no matter which way he turned, he could not find his way out of the swirling fog. And then, from the depths of the mist, came a sound that chilled him to the core, the sound of echoing laughter, cold and cruel. With a sinking feeling in the pit of his stomach, Malik realized that he had fallen victim to the curse of the Oasis of Echoes, a curse that condemned him to wander the desert for all eternity, his voice forever lost in the endless expanse of sand. And so he joined the countless others who had dared to seek out the fabled oasis, their fate sealed within its shimmering waters, their voices swallowed by the desert winds. Driven by a sense of duty and a desire to free his ancestors from their eternal torment, Amadou embarked on a perilous quest to uncover the truth behind the phantom caravan and break the chains that bound it to the desert. Armed with nothing but his wits and a heart full of courage, Amadou ventured into the heart of the Sahara, guided by the stories of his forefathers and the wisdom of the desert itself. Through scorching days and freezing nights, he pressed on, undeterred by the dangers that lurked around every corner. And then, one fateful night, as the moon hung low in the sky and the stars blinked with a knowing gleam, Amadou stumbled upon the phantom caravan, its ghostly forms shimmering in the moonlight like specters from another world. With a steady hand and a heart filled with determination, Amadou approached the caravan, his voice echoing across the desert as he called out to the spirits that dwelled within. And as he spoke, he felt a shift in the air, a sense of anticipation that seemed to ripple through the sands themselves. And then, with a deafening roar, the curse was broken. The sorcerer's hold over the phantom caravan shattered, and the souls of the cursed were set free at last. With a final wail of anguish, the caravan vanished into the night, leaving behind nothing but a sense of peace and a newfound hope for the future. And so, the legend of the phantom caravan of the Sahara faded into memory, a tale of courage and redemption passed down through the generations, a testament to the power of the human spirit to overcome even the darkest of curses and bring light to the darkest of nights.